to Shiksha Sanjog online teaching learning program of Noakhala district. Dear students, I welcome you all to this session. Today we shall discuss complex sentence in English grammar. So you all are welcome to this session. Yes, students, you very well know that sentences are three types. Sentences are three types. The first one is simple sentence. The second one is compound sentence, and the third one is complex sentence. So students, you know the simple sentence and compound sentence. You see the example of a simple sentence. Ramo worked hard. Here, this sentence is made up of one clause and having one finite verb, that is worked. So this is a simple sentence. Next, Ramo worked hard and got a first class. This is an example of a compound sentence. Students, you see here Ramo worked hard is a main clause and got a first class. It is a coordinate clause. Coordinate clause. So having one main clause and one or more than one coordinate clause is a compound sentence. Next, come to the complex sentence. What is a complex sentence? See, as Ramo worked hard, he got a first class. You see, this sentence is made up of two clauses. As Ramo worked hard and he got a first class. These are two clauses. One is main clause, another is subordinate clause. You see, he got a first class. Here, he got a first class is main clause, and as Ramo worked hard is a subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. And you also know that main clause is called as independent clause. Independent clause, and subordinate clause is called as dependent clause. So students, you see, as Ramo worked hard, this is a dependent clause. This clause depend upon the independent clause or main clause. He got a first class. Without this main clause, the subordinate clause has no meaning. So this is subordinate clause, this is main clause. So students, the sentences which consist of a main clause and a subordinate clause is a complex sentence. Yes, students, the sentences consist of a main clause and a subordinate clause is called as a complex sentence. Okay? So students, we are reading complex sentence. What is a complex sentence? The sentences consist of only one main clause with one or more than one subordinate clauses are called as complex sentence. See some examples. He remembers that it was a Sunday. The boy who plays the violin is my brother. Third one. Since no one asked me, I did not tell the answer. You see, students, complex sentences. Here you see the first one. He remembers that it was a Sunday. Here he remembers is an independent clause. Independent clause, and that it was a Sunday. This is a dependent clause. Dependent clause. We can say independent clause as MC or main clause, and dependent clause is subordinate clause. Subordinate clause or SC, subordinate clause. One main clause and a subordinate clause make a complex sentence. This sentence is a complex sentence. See the second sentence. The boy who plays the violin is my brother. Here, who plays the violin? This is a subordinate clause, and the main clause is the boy is my brother. You see, this is main clause. Who plays the violin is subordinate clause, and these two clauses form a complex sentence. This sentence is also a complex sentence. Third one. Since no one asked me, I did not tell the answer. I did not tell the answer is main clause, and since no one asked me is subordinate clause or dependent clause. You see, students, subordinate clause is called as dependent clause, as the subordinate clause depends upon the main clause. Without the main clause, the meaning of subordinate clause is nothing. The subordinate clause without main clause is meaningless. This is incomplete. Okay? Yes, students. You see, all the subordinate clauses begins with subordinator like that, who, since, etc. They are called as subordinating conjunction. See, subordinating conjunction. So students, subordinating conjunction or subordinate clause. What is a subordinate clause? The subordinate clause adds information to the main clause. The subordinate clause adds information to the main clause. Second, it does not express a complete sense or complete thought. It does not express a complete sense. It gives more meaning to the main clause. The subordinate clause begins with subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunction. So students, a subordinate clause always begins with a subordinating conjunction. See, some of the subordinating conjunctions are although, though, as, since, because, which, that, who, whom, etc. And we shall discuss later. So students, subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. Subordinate clauses are of three types. One is noun clause. Second one is adjective or relative clause, and the third one is adverb clause. So students, subordinate clauses are of three types. One is noun clause, another is adjective clause or relative clause, and third one is adverb clause. We shall read one by one in our next classes. What is a noun clause, its functions, what is relative clause, its types of relative clause, and adverb clause and its types of relative clause. Okay, its types of adverb clauses. So students, this is all about your complex sentence. So students, thank you.